in Hampton Lake, this gorgeous custom home that we had the opportunity to work on with our wonderful clients who we met with in the very beginning of this process and got to work through this with them every step of the way, from blueprint, I like to say blueprint to bath towels. So every single decision in this home we got to participate in, and it's been really fun. There's so many beautiful things to see here, but right now we're in the foyer. So let's talk about what we did to make this foyer welcoming and to begin to tell the color story and the texture and wood story of what's going to happen throughout the rest of this home. This foyer vignette that we created is very welcoming. There's a gray-blue washed wood mixed with some warm wood tones, and we pulled the warm wood tones up into this grass cloth jute-style round mirror, added a couple of dramatic lamps, and it's enough to welcome you to this home. But this, to me, is the star of the show in the foyer. This open, cage-style, dramatic, oversized pendant with this beautiful blue on the ceiling. This space right here was originally a formal dining room in the blueprints, and we decided that this family just really didn't need a formal dining space. That was not fitting with their lifestyle. They have young children and they don't entertain a lot of formal dinner parties, but they do entertain a lot of people and they need casual seating. And with one main living room in this house, it just felt like the right decision to turn this into a casual sitting area with 4 matching custom chairs. These are Rowe. They have a beautiful English arm and they have down in the cushions, so they're super comfortable. We added some textured linen throw pillows, lumbar shaped. We needed to connect the height of the ceiling to this low sitting area. So this cascading, beautiful light fixture really helped become the focal point when you walk into the home. It's eye-catching, but it's not oversized or heavy in the space. When you enter in through the foyer, the first thing you actually see is the back of the sofa. A designer trick, so that you don't see the back of the sofa, is to add a console table and to decorate it, so that at least you're looking at something beautiful when you walk in. So the details make the room, right? The way that we pull things together and the small things, when you see them all pulled together, it's what makes the room feel cohesive and feel pulled together in design. And so I want to show you the way that we did that in this space. This rug, if you get close on it, it's actually got some cowhide stitched in, woven with denim. So we have these blue grids, and then we have this kind of medium caramel color that is woven through it. And now if you look over here, we see this caramel leather that totally pulls this out of the rug. And it's also repeated in the wood tone here. And then if we pan up, you'll look up at the ceiling and you'll see this coffered ceiling where we put this medium denim blue color, North Star from Sherwin-Williams. This fireplace wall is comprised of obviously the fireplace, which is beautiful, and we'll get to that in a moment, but it's also comprised of these 2 huge built-ins on either side of this fireplace. The way that these are decorated is important and it's worth mentioning. These could easily take this beautiful, serene living space that we've created and turn it into a cluttered mess, or it could look very organized and well designed. All of the objects that you see here were chosen by Southern Grace Interiors team designer Brittany Swearingen. She is an accessory rock star and she does a fantastic job on styling and decorating bookcases, and it's really one of her specialties. So I want to talk about what she did here and why she did it this way, and how you could take the idea of this and duplicate it in your own home and accomplish a similar effect. So there are a couple of different patterns that designers use when we decorate bookcases. And what I mean by patterns is that if you were to take this bookcase and have it be empty and you were to sketch over top of it or on paper how you wanted to lay your objects out, there's a pattern that makes sense to the human eye. And so what we've chosen to do here is create diamonds. And so what I mean by that is a small object here, these get wider, it stays wider, and then it comes to a smaller object here, creating a sort of a diamond effect. Actually what it is a triangle and an inverted triangle, and when they are put together it gives the effect of a diamond on each shelf. So you can see we did it here too, small, wide, wide, small. And we've used that pattern. Now it doesn't have to be that way. So actually you could switch these 2 shelves and raise this up a little bit, and you could have triangle, triangle. Or you could switch that and do it the other way around too. There's really not a right or wrong answer as long as there is a pattern and that patterning stays consistent throughout the design process overall. So this mantle is a slab of Magnolia. This was reclaimed wood sourced locally here in the Bluffton, South Carolina area. And we had a carpenter. He went and found this single slab and honed it and cleaned it up and sealed it. He did not even stain it. And it has its own natural beauty and movement and knots and little flaws and imperfections. And it's just stunning. And that is capping off this gorgeous brick. We have a raised hearth, which is a very classic and beautiful look. But we did something here. We incorporated an arch, and it's important to mention that. Most fireplace designs you see now, more modern fireplace designs, use squares. You know, there's lots of squares and rectangles in architecture, and that's okay. But I think sometimes there's a time and a place to bring some arches back in, and particularly if you have a homeowner who wants a little more of a farmhouse look or something that feels a little more antiquated, by incorporating some arches in very specific places, we can help give that sense of antiquity to a home. So we chose to incorporate a soldier course over the opening here in an arch, and I'm going to bring you over into the kitchen space to show you why we did that. This arch is created to have some rhythm throughout the space, and rhythm in design means the same factor, the same color, the same shape is incorporated in multiple places throughout the space to give the space depth and to lead your eye through the space and to help it feel pulled together. So we created some rhythm here because we have the arch over the fireplace. We put an arch, a very subtle one, but it is here at the end of this island. And then obviously there's an arch here. This is a gorgeous wood stained hood with these beautiful corbels for a little bit of a traditional touch. And this arch is then repeated as we go through the space. So the focal point of the kitchen then, besides this gorgeous hood, is this beautiful fantasy brown quartzite counter that we chose for the island. It has a lot of movement. It has a lot of patterning through it. The tones are perfect in this space. It's got these beautiful soft gray blues and these browns and some warm tones. And it almost reminds you of like the beach or ocean waves and sand. It's really, really a beautiful material, and it's very durable. Quartzite is a natural material, much like granite. It comes from the earth, so there's imperfections in it. It's a natural slab stone that they then polish or hone. We went with polished here, although I have done it honed, and it does take on a different color. So this was a great choice for this home, and I want to show you why. So let's walk in here. Not only does it work with the floors and the other finishes, but check out this really cool table that we found. This is a petrified wood table from Our House brand, and it is so hard that you do not have to use a coaster. The kids can't scratch it. It's super durable, and it's very heavy. So we joked and said, this is not getting moved. So they picked this spot and it's staying here. It's very, very heavy and very solid and well made, but it's so beautiful. And the colorway and the movement in it sort of reminds me of the kitchen island, and I think that it helps the two spaces feel cohesive together. Now I'm gonna lead you back through this hallway into the master bedroom. We're gonna come back through this winding space. We just did some minimal art through here to lead your eye down. And this master retreat is just so beautiful. It's really welcoming and very serene. So these were mirrors that were just stock from Pier 1, and they're this beautiful capiche shell, which was so needed in this room so that it didn't feel too heavy or rustic. I wanted this bathroom to have, the wood gave it a little bit of a spa effect with the sereneness of the tile, and so I wanted to carry that forward and give something in here that had a little bit of shimmer to it. And this capiche shell did that. And then the color of these shades, instead of just being clear, they have this little bit of an antique amber tint to them. And again, it just dresses up the room and gives another tone, another texture in the space. And then this beautiful frameless glass walk-in shower with this oversized detail. So I don't always invite people in these videos into powder rooms unless there's something really special about them. And there is something special in this one, and I really want to show it to you. In this powder room, we created this custom vanity with a leathered black top that's made of granite. But sitting on top of that is this custom vessel sink made by a very good friend of mine, Miles Holbert with Mountain Creative in West Virginia. So he hand formed this out of clay and then painted it and glazed it and created it from an inspiration photo that I sent him. And I think it really makes the whole bathroom special. We have this Mosaic inlay mirror that takes the colors out of here and pulls it up. And then these really cool rustic antique looking pendants, which are not antiques, they're new. But they look great. And so we pulled all these colors together and told this story here. So this is their daughter's room, and this whole room, the inspiration started, she wanted a pink room because she loves pink. I mean, this is a girl after my own heart. I love pink too. So this bed was kind of the inspiration point for this room other than the color pink. And this is a awesome treehouse style bed. It's like her own little house. She gets to sleep in here. These roll down if she really wants to. So then we took this, and this became our inspiration point going forward for what else we were going to do. So we found this rug, we fell in love with it, and so then Brittany found this amazing art and how, look at the pinks and purples that are in this rug. and how she pulled that into the art so it doesn't feel flat. So by choosing this rug and choosing this art, Brittany was smart because she pulled the purple tones out of this instead of the expected pink tones. So now let's walk back through this hallway. We're leaving their daughter's room and we're gonna head into their son's room. And look at this red! Look how fun this is! Their little boy loves fire engines and he loves airplanes. His daddy was a fireman and then became a pilot, so that's why. So since he wanted fire trucks and he wanted airplanes in his room, what better choice than to incorporate red as our accent color? So we did that in the rug, we did it in the buffalo check on the drapes, and then a few little accent pieces throughout the room just to keep it cohesive and pulled together. There's actually fire engines on his blanket. I mean, obviously you would not do this in an adult's room, but this is like a 5-year-old kid, so this makes sense for a 5-year-old child's room. This family has a bit of a unique situation. So even though they have their own 2 young children, they also have some grandchildren. And so those grandchildren sometimes come to visit, and so we needed a space that would flex for when those grandchildren and that other part of their family came to visit. And so our solution was to take this giant empty bonus room and transform it into something that their own children could use for their day-to-day life, but also that it could kind of serve double duty as extra sleeping space for their 6 grandchildren. So we put in bunks with 4 twin-size mattresses and made sort of an installation out of these stock-made bunk beds. We did matching navy and white quilts with these fun, cute little whale sheets. And the secret of the room is, over here in these 1.5 these are actually pull-out sleepers, so they're twins. So there's twin-size beds in here, and we have extra bedding for those when they get pulled out. But for day-to-day, this is just a fun, cozy place to curl up with an iPad or read a book. You can play a family board game at this cute little table in the center of the space. You can use the poofs as extra seating. This space really flexes and is very versatile for this family and for their changing needs. Thanks for watching with me. I hope that you enjoyed this tour. And if you have feedback for my future tours, let me know that too, because I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys what you want to see. Thanks.